Welcome to 21st Sports, and we're talking the Chicago Bears at the Dallas Cowboys in their Week 3 matchup played September 25th, 2016, as this was a Sunday night game. But this was one, really heading in, you knew that the Cowboys were going to win this one. Of course, you never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen on any given Sunday. But the Bears, without Jay Cutler, Brian Hoyer got the start. And if anything, they might have had a better chance with Hoyer under center than Cutler the way he's been playing. But Dak Prescott, though, he has been stepping up big time for the Cowboys, and he got things started off scoring-wise with a 1-yard touchdown run that made it 7-0 Dallas over Chicago. Then before the end of the first, Dan Bailey hit a 49-yard field goal, and it was 10-0 Cowboys over the Bears after 1 quarter of play. Then in the second, Lance Dunbar scored on the 1-yard touchdown run, and it was 17-0 Dallas over Chicago. So the Cowboys running away with this one early on. The Bears would finally get on the scoreboard about midway through the second with a 34-yard field goal by Connor Barth that made it 17-3. But then just before the end of the first half, Alfred Morris, a 3-yard touchdown run, and it was 24-3 as the Cowboys extended their lead to 3 touchdowns heading into the intermission. Then in the third quarter, the Bears finally get into the end zone as Brian Hoyer hit Zach Miller for a 2-yard touchdown, and it was 24-10 with the Cowboys still up by 14. So then in the fourth, Dak Prescott hooks up with Dez Bryant, a 17-yard touchdown pass, and was back to a 3-touchdown lead for the Cowboys with the score Dallas 31, Chicago 10. And then a few minutes later, Brian Hoyer hooked up with Zach Miller for their second touchdown connection of the game, and that made it 31-17 off that 6-yard touchdown pass. That would be the final score of the game as the Cowboys got off to that big lead early, and they held on to that lead throughout the game. They never trailed at any point in this game, and the Cowboys are now 2-1. They're above 500 on the season, right there in the mix, in the thick of things in the NFC East, which is shaping up to be a very interesting division this year for sure. It always is an exciting division, no doubt about that. The Bears, they remain winless. They now fall to 0-3. And really, their season was over before it even started. I don't really see much hope for the Bears. Of course, anything can happen. You never know. John Fox is a good coach, but the Bears are definitely in a rebuilding phase. They need a lot of work. And a lot of that's going to be, a matter of under center. The Jay Cutler experiment's been going on a long time, too long, and it's not ever worked out. So, the Bears, just, I don't even know what to say about the Bears. But with the Cowboys, though, they are really exciting to watch. Dak Prescott has been really doing an excellent job under center with the absence of Tony Romo. That's actually heading into the season. The Cowboys look to be in about the same position as the Bears without Romo, but Dak Prescott has got him off to a 2-1 start. Of course, he's had quite a bit of help from that offensive line that has been playing spectacularly. That offensive line of the Cowboys, one of the best offensive lines in football. Their defense has been playing really good too, and they got some good production out of their running game. Like I said, a big-time performance by the offensive line of the Cowboys in this game and so far in this season. But Dak Prescott, 19 for 24, 248 yards and a touchdown. Zeke Elliott, 30 carries, 140 yards. Now that's some running production right there. Dak Prescott also had 4 carries for 36 yards and a touchdown. So Prescott with 1 through the air and 1 on the ground. And of course, Alfred Morris also had a rushing touchdown as well. He had 5 carries for 19 yards. And then Williams was the leading receiver with 4 receptions for 88 yards. Cole Beasley had 7 receptions for 73 yards. And Dez Bryant, 3 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. And for Chicago, Brian Hoyer, 30 for 49, 317 yards, 2 touchdowns. Decent production, of course. Most of that came when they were trailing, but they really didn't get any production out of their ground game, and they didn't really run the ball too often. Howard just 9 carries for 45 yards. Jeremy Langford just 3 carries for 31 yards. course, Langford averaging more than 10 yards per carry, but he only had 3 carries. And then Zach Miller, the tight end for the Bears, was their leading receiver with 8 catches for 78 yards and their 2 touchdowns. There were only 2 touchdowns of the game. Then we look at the defense for the Cowboys. Jones had a forced fumble, as did Wilcox. And for the Bears, Glenn with a forced fumble. Really, the first down's 25-21 in favor of the Cowboys. On third down, the Cowboys 5 of 11, 45%. They also converted a fourth down, 1 for 1. The Bears just 2 for 10 on third down, just 20%, as the Cowboys shutting them down on third down and not letting them move the chains. The Bears did, however, convert a fourth down, as both teams were 1 for 1 on fourth. Total net yards, so 447 for the Cowboys, 390 for the Bears. On the ground, though, the Cowboys netting 199 yards versus just 73 for Chicago, although both teams averaged 4.9 yards per rushing play. So that's why I talk about a lot about the commitment to the run and having balance in your offense. Of course, when you fall down 17-0 early on, it's tough to keep running the ball. You kind of are put in a position where you have to throw, and that's kind of what happened here. But even in general, the Bears haven't had a balanced attack. When you don't have a balanced attack, as you see time and time again, that usually leads to a loss. But we look at the penalties in this game: 6 against the Bears and 4 against the Cowboys. They both had 45 penalty yards. The Bears had 4 fumbles in this game. They recovered 2. They lost 2. The Cowboys had 1 fumble, which they did lose. And we look at the red zone. The Cowboys, perfect in the red zone. 4 for 4, 100% in the red zone. And for the Bears, 2 for 50%. And the time of possession, 35 minutes, 19 seconds for Dallas, 24 minutes, 41 seconds for Chicago. So a very good performance by the Cowboys in a game you expected them to win, but still a very dominant performance. The victory was really never in question. They led the entire game. They got out to that big lead early on, and the Cowboys looking really good, going above 500. But let me know what you think in the comments section below. Which plays and performances stuck out to you? Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day and had a great weekend and enjoyed all the sports.